Hey, what's up everybody? This is Michael with All Day Unpacked. How you doing? We're here today to break down the pack that's dropping, which is the first rewind pack from the 2021 season. So there's some interesting things here. This is the first time we're going backwards in the season, weeks 1 through 12, and pulling some moments forward. And if you didn't catch in our last video, we talked about some of the players we wanted to see in the packs, and sure enough, a few of them made it here. So real quick, just to kick it off, the way it's breaking down is there's 5 legendaries, 10 rares, 11 commons, and 8 common special editions that are in this. And then the legendaries are breaking down into 3 regular legendaries, 2 special edition legendaries, and then 6 rare and 4 special edition rare. All right, so for anyone who likes to collect the sets, you're looking at some additions here. Locked In, which is a group of rares, just added 6 new rares to that set. And then you also saw Afterburners, Ball Hawks, In the Trenches, and Showtime each add 1 rare to those collections. Then on the common side, He Called Game added 1, and Make the Stop and Move the Chains added 3 and 4 respectively. So again, if you're trying to keep those sets complete, make sure you're paying attention because you're going to need to add those moments to keep it that way. All right, now the thing that I really found the biggest surprise about this pack list was the number of rookies that they included. So some rookies that I wouldn't have necessarily seen as being brought out this year definitely got added. There were 7 rookies in all, 4 on the offensive side, 3 on the defensive side. Definitely a few studs, and then a few kind of guys that flashed but didn't really have super productive seasons. So to start it off, you got a pair of New York receivers. You got Cadarius Toney and Elijah Moore. And again, these are 2 guys that had some really productive, great games, but didn't necessarily have solid seasons, right? Like a Jamar Chase or anybody like that. So with Toney, he had this one fantastic game against the Cowboys, but outside of the rest of the season, just didn't really show. He was inactive most of the second half of the season, but was a guy who looked like he could definitely play ball. I know he had some issues with COVID early in the season, contract issues, a foot issue, so a lot of things surrounding him. So this could be kind of one of those sleeper guys that gets out there, might be low priced, eventually, and someone you can pick up that, again, if he starts showing off this next year, could be a great investment. Same thing with Elijah Moore. Again, showed some flashes, had a couple of great games, but wasn't consistent over the year. So again, probably not going to move a ton. Won't be, a super sought after one like a Jamar Chase would be. Beyond that, you've got Kenneth Gainwell, who's a running back for the Eagles. Again, another guy who, played okay, played a little bit sparingly, played in most of the games, but didn't really do anything productive, right? Only had a few hundred yards rushing over the whole course of the season. And, again, could be a bigger part of the offense going forward, but who knows? 4th rookie offensive player was kind of a fan favorite from Pittsburgh, Pat Freiermuth. He is, a guy who probably had about 500 yards receiving last year, from 50 catches or so. And, again, he kind of came on it in moments and others, but didn't really, wasn't a guy who took the league by storm by any means in his rookie year. So a lot of guys that could certainly step up this next year. Some interesting choices by All Day for rookies to release. Still holding back on a few of the bigger names on the offensive side of the ball, but on the defensive side of the ball, we definitely got a big name. We got Pat Surtain II. He's a stud, cornerback for the Denver Broncos. We'll be seeing him make his debut moment in that Make the Stop series, which is a more limited version of the commons. So what's interesting here is they took all of the offensive rookies and they're part of the base set, but then all of the defensive rookies are part of the Make the Stop set. So again, you're going to see fewer of those. It will be interesting to see how that plays out in the marketplace and what people want to pay for those types of things. Also of note is that if you look at the way that All Day is releasing these, they put together 31,650 packs with a total of 126,600 moments. I know that's a lot of numbers, but what does that really mean? It means that about 70 to 75% of all of these moments are being released in this pack drop. So what you're going to see is a majority of them now being released out to the wild, more than what we've seen in the past, where with a lot of the moments, we see about 50% hit the market. We're going to see 75% of these moments, 70% of these moments hit the market, with that other 25 to 30% being held back. So that'll be interesting to see too, because there'll be a few more of these things floating around, and we'll find out how that's going to play out. Another thing worth noting about this pack is that in recent history, you've been getting 3 moments for $59. And what they've done is they've bumped it up now so that you're getting 4 moments for $59. I personally like that a lot better, right? We want more value. The thing that I really miss was, if you think way back and you were part of the beta originally, there was a playoff pack that was 9 moments, and it was a rare pack, so you were guaranteed a rare, and then you got 8 commons. And I want to say it was the same, the $249 price as all the other rare packs, and that still to date was my favorite pack to rip. Just getting that many commons, getting the 8 commons plus a guaranteed rare, that probably felt like one of the best values that I've had in this entire experience with All Day. So then we have 2 more defensive rookies that are part of this drop, Kwity Paye and Aziz Ojulari. Sorry if I slaughtered those names. But yeah, those are going to be the other 2 guys. A couple of solid linebackers, one for the Giants, one for the Colts, that played pretty well this year. Ojulari had a better season, I would say, than Paye did, but they're both, solid rookies that are looking to, kind of make their mark in the second season going forward. So again, on the defensive side, some solid names, some solid players. On the offensive side, a few more leaps of faith to take if you want to collect those and try to see where they go. Now, as far as new debuts, we're seeing 2 new moments that are the debuts for those players, Fletcher Cox and J.J. Watt. So a couple of stud D linemen that are finally getting their first moment, and we'll see them, and they're going to be rares. As far as other debuts in this drop, we're going to see some commons, and that's going to include some pretty big names. Darren Waller and Josh Jacobs from the Las Vegas Raiders. In our kind of top 5 offensive players that needed a moment, those 2 guys were definitely in the discussion and just missed the cut. So those are 2 that we're really excited about. James Robinson from the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll channel my inner Ryan. He'll be excited about that guy making his debut. He's a solid running back. And of course, our number 1 player that we wanted to see, Derrick Henry, is going to be here. So that's a big one dropping. Can't wait to see that one hit. That a lot of people are going to be going after that player. He'll be hot in the aftermarket, I'm sure. Taylor Heineke, Preston Smith, and of course, they threw a bone to Carson Wentz. Thinking Carson Wentz is probably going to be about a $5 player when all is said and done. But hey, maybe if you're Washington, you can get a 2-for-1, get a Wentz, get a Heineke. I don't know. You make something out of it because you're going to need the help this year. Anyway, that's kind of the breakdown of the different players. There's a few others. The legendaries, you got a Joe Mixon, an Austin Eckler, a Justin Jefferson. You have a Micah Parsons and a Mac Jones. So that's cool for those 5 players. Again, you're going to see none of those are debut moments for any of them. So not going to have the huge command price. It'll be interesting to see how those get priced out in the market, especially someone like a Justin Jefferson, who's a solid player. Real good, one of the top 5 receivers in the NFL right now. In the rares, we're seeing a lot of good names there. CeeDee Lamb's getting one, Dalvin Cook's getting one, Devontae Adams is getting one. We haven't been able to get anything but a legendary of him up until this point, so that'll be a little bit more of an affordable price point for Devontae. And then just to round it out, a couple of players we'll be getting common moments of that I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to. First of all, Justin Herbert. There's only been rares and legendaries of this guy, so it's hard for anybody who doesn't want to spend the big dollars on a player like that. Getting a common released of him finally, where it won't be a rookie moment, it won't be a debut, so it should be pretty reasonably priced. That'll be a nice addition for folks who want to add him to their collection. And then same thing with Cortland Sutton. Once Russell Wilson hit there, he pretty much doubled and hasn't really come down as much as people were hoping since. He hasn't seen sub 100 prices since Wilson's been there. And now that he'll have a common moment, that's great for other people who want to pick him up, especially as people look into kind of the future of this and whether or not we get into a fantasy aspect. Being able to pick up a cheap Justin Herbert or a cheap Cortland Sutton is going to be a nice addition to your collection. All right, so that kind of wraps it up for us. Leave a comment below. Let us know who you're excited about. Let us know who you want to get. Good luck to everybody when you rip your packs. Can't wait to see what everybody gets. Talk to you later. Peace.